We all knew it was going to happen, but the time is here. Don Lemon stunned after ousting at CNN. Would you go away here, video? CNN host Don Lemon says he's been fired by CNN. I am stunned, Lemon said in his message posting on Twitter on Monday, saying his agent had informed him of his firing by CNN. The Hill has confirmed Lemon's exit with CNN. Licht, I think that is, Chris Licht, said in the memo to CNN workers that CNN and Don have parted ways. Don will forever be a part of the CNN family. Obviously not. He's gone now. And we will thank him for his contributions over the past 17 years. It's been 17 years too late. Lick said we wish him well. What?
17 years. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Out the door. Ousted. Booted. See you later. And people keep calling him Sour Lemon. I think that's funny. Yeah. No, this one was an interesting one for sure. Especially with the Tucker Carlson stuff going on at the exact same time. That was crazy.
I like the way they put, we will wish him well and we'll be cheering him on in his future endeavors. What future endeavors? Being a Burger King cash register cashier? Because who's going to touch this man?
I don't know. You know, that opening clip, there's so much hypocrisy in like every single thing he said. And that's all I could think. Every clip that came up was like, this is rich coming from you. Are you serious right now? But yeah, I don't know. He's gonna. I think he'll find a place to go, but I think he'll probably have a. It won't be his first choice, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, you're gonna bring on a bad name immediately. It's like when Brian Stelter was fired and he went to go teach at Harvard. Like that was a bad move on Harvard's part because he's teaching journalism at Harvard. What? That makes no sense.
He fits right in there. Like that's what they want. They don't want people who are actually thinking for themselves which is hilarious in a school like that. But that's just where we're at.
Do you remember when he was given some kind of like lecture at a school or something like that, and that kid's like, "Oh well, you talk a lot about misinformation and everything, and CNN is the worst of it. What do you have to say?" And he's like, "Well, that's lunch." Do you remember that?
Yeah. I remember that clip. That was the funniest thing. It's, and it's funny too, because like, I feel like there's, it's pretty easy to go to a college setting and kind of dunk on some of the young, dumb kids out there, type of thing. And I take those types of thing with like a grain of salt, but like, man, when they start clapping back at you, you're like, oh, okay. Well, because I think a lot of the conservatives, go and do that just to kind of see where we're at in in the sphere of higher education. But sometimes I'm like, man, this is like it's too easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's incredibly easy. But all right. I do want to bring this up as well, though, because this is great. Let's go ahead and read his little thing here. Okay, it says, I should have brought this up real quick. Well, my God, that's not working. I was informed this morning by my agent that I have been terminated by CNN. I am stunned. After 17 years at CNN, I would have thought that someone in management would have the decency to tell me directly. At no time was I ever given any indication that I would not be able to continue to do the work I have loved for this network. It is clear that there are some larger issues at play. With all that said, I want to thank my colleagues and the many teams I have worked with for an incredible run. They are the most talented journalists in the business, and I wish them all the best. No, because apparently after he put that in, CEO Chris Licht fired back and said, where is it? It's after this, right? Lemon joined at the anchor. Lemon first came under fire, blah, blah. No, that was not the right tab. It's this one, right? Get out of here. Did I not bring it up? Oh, no, I didn't bring it up then. Jesus. Oh, no. But now they were just saying, give you a roundabout about it while I actually do bring it up. that they were saying that it's a little bit misleading because you did have that little meeting after you were on a rant about Nikki Haley and all that, about diversity, equity, and inclusion, and all that good stuff. You had to go through re-education, so you had no idea this was coming. Come on, but let me see if I can guard that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. I don't know. I think it's kind of some karma coming in when somebody like Don Lemon gets the boot. Gets the boot. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. How old are you? How old am I? I'm 31. Drunken's a little bit older than I am.
37. I'll be 38 this year.
You're old.
Yes.
I make fun of my husband that he's old, and he's only like 3 years older than me. So, but he'll be like, "I'm so much older than you. You don't remember these things," and I'm like, "It's 3 years, bro. What are you talking about?" But like, there's some stuff where I'm just like, "Yeah, I have no idea, no clue what you're saying." But yeah, no.
I'm trying to find it real quick. I meant to bring that up here, but
no, you're fine. I'm going through comments. I don't think it's as cut and dry as that, my friend, but we'll get into that. I have lots of thoughts.
Jesus.
That's very nice. Thank you so much.
They scrub it, but anyway, it's we can just go with it.
Okay.
There was something I read in one of these that it's here it is. Yeah.
Do you have it?
What? Don Lemon's from CNN Communications here. Don Lemon's statement about this morning's event is inaccurate. He was offered an opportunity to meet with management, but instead released a statement on Twitter. So yeah, at no point did I know about any of this. No, you straight up lied. So yeah, I mean, even on his way out, this guy can't stop lying. This is just incredibly epic. And Cuomo was the first one to go from CNN through the past couple of years. And what is he doing now? Like he's got some viewers and everything, but it's like a total of like 17,000 for like a month. And it's probably everybody just mocking him.
You know what's so funny is like, I heard about Don Lemon, and then it was so quickly overtaken by like talk of Tucker Carlson. And I found that really, really funny in the sense that like people saw that and just said Fox just tanked their network, which is interesting because we actually looked it up, and apparently Gutfeld actually gets more viewers than Tucker Carlson does, but it's more of like, I don't know, a group show as well. I don't know how people watch Gutfeld. I can't stand him, but he just annoys me. So, and the show itself is not. It's just not. I'm not the target audience on that one. I think the writing is pretty rough. The jokes are pretty rough, but anyway. I just thought it was really funny that nobody really cared about Don Lemon past like, oh, he got fired. Okay, that's pretty fitting. But about Tucker Carlson, where's he going? What's he gonna do? What's he, and everyone's like speculating on where he's gonna end up and what's gonna happen. And I just think that's really telling. Like nobody's doing that with Don Lemon, like because nobody really cares that much. You know what I mean?
I mean, everybody that used to like the dude turned on him. Even the black community turned on him. So
that was not a great.
I don't see him being in front of a camera much longer at all. But
yeah, no. He, I don't know. He might go into like, probably not even like journalism though, and like writing and stuff. Who knows? I just have no idea. But yeah,
I do think this was, there's a lot of talk about what it was and everything like that brought him down. I do think this was the last straw. This was the straw that broke the camel's back. Let's go ahead and hear this real quick.
With due respect, I find your explanation reductive and actually insulting, including to black Americans, to say that black people today compared to 1964, 1865, haven't made progress in part because of the freedoms we secured. And the Second Amendment was
Black
part of
people,
what secured
hang on,
that
please. I
freedom.
cannot keep a thought if you guys are talking to me in my ear. So hang on.
Right there. Right there. He takes out his earpiece because the production team's probably like, you best shut up. Just stop.
1 second.
I
You said that
can't.
black people.
Oh, this gets great.
Say what you said again.
Black people secured their freedoms after the Civil War. It is a historical fact, Don. Just study it. Only after their Second Amendment
Black people
rights
have-
were secured.
They
That's
were
a
not
fact.
secured their freedoms after the Civil War. That is not, you are discounting Reconstruction. You're discounting a whole host of things that happened after the Civil War when it comes to African Americans, including the whole reason that the Civil Rights Movement happened is because black people did not secure their freedoms after the Civil War, and that things turned around. People tried to change the freedoms that were supposed to
And you
happen
know how
after
they
the
got
Civil
it?
War
They got their
and
Second Amendment
Reconstruction.
rights, and they actually got the NRA played a big role in that. But today, Don,
The NRA did not play a big role
absolutely,
in
they
that.
trained
That
Black Americans
is
how
a
to use
lie.
firearms.
That's a lie.
But
That's not. The
it's
NRA
actually-
did not play a big role in
This
that.
is just historical fact. But
It's
Don,
not historical fact.
the part that I
Just
find
because you say it's historical
the
fact
part
is
that I
not
find
historical fact.
insulting is when you say today Black Americans don't have those rights after we have
The
gone
fact
through
that I find
civil rights
insulting
revolution
is
in this
that
country.
You are sitting here telling an African American about the rights and what you find insulting about the way I live, the skin I live in every day.
Here's where you and I
know
have a
the
different
freedoms
point
that
of view.
black and white that black people don't have in this country,
here-
and that black people do have. in
Well,
this
here's
country.
where you and I have a different point of view. I think we should be able to express our views regardless of the color of our skin. We should have this debate
I'm not saying you
without
shouldn't
me
express
This is
regarding
great.
you as a
but I think
black
it's
man,
insulting that
but
you're
me
sitting
regarding you
here,
as a fellow citizen.
That you're
That's what I
sitting
think we
here,
should see.
whatever ethnicity you are, splaining to me
Whatever ethnicity
about
I'm,
what
I'll
it is like to be black. in
Whatever
America.
ethnicity I am,
I'm
I'll tell
sorry.
you what I am. I'm an Indian American.
Oh my
I'm proud of it,
God.
but I think we should have this debate. Black and white doesn't matter.
I think we should have this
on
debate.
the
but I think
content
you
of
should-
the
if you're
ideas.
gonna do it, you should do it in an honest way and in a
I
fair
think-
way. And what you're doing is not an honest and fair way. Okay?
with-
But we
with-
appreciate you coming on.
With
Thank
due
you for
respect,
that.
Don, I look forward to
Thank you very
continuing
much.
that
I appreciate it.
conversation.
We'll
Thank
continue
you.
the conversation.
Thank you.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's gotta hurt. Dude's like, I'm black. You can't talk about these issues if you're not black. You're over here. What ethnicity splaining? Dude.
I just think it's so fun. I think it's very hypocritical for someone to place so much merit in their skin color, but then completely disregard somebody else just because they come from a different ethnicity. Like sir, like pot meat kettle here. Like you can't have it both ways. You can't sit here and I don't know, complain about a certain group being marginalized, but completely disregard another group just because they somebody who's coming from another group just because they disagree with you.
Right. But yeah, it's just, God, the fact that he even tries to pull that, because, I mean, Ramaswamy was owning him. He was correct on that. And Don Lemon's just like, no, because he has absolutely no idea what he's doing. And he's like, racism. And pulls out that card. And he's just like, dude, I'm Indian.
Well, yeah, what's really funny is I feel very similarly when like a lot of people will have kind of their go-to arguments for whatever conversation they're having, right? And I've been talking about abortion for the past couple days on Twitter, and everyone always goes to, you don't get to use your religious views to dictate how other people's choices or how other people live. And I'm just like, bro, I'm not religious whatsoever. Like, what are you? You don't get to just claim like that. It actually frustrates me because, and people on both sides do this, where they just assume the other person's views because they kind of have this caricature in their mind instead of just actually, discussing it with them like a person. Because I don't know, I just take a different approach when I'm directly interacting with people. I just don't assume anything. I just go based off of what they say. Shocking, but
Well,
yeah, it's just one of those things.
I get that a lot too. When I bring up anything, it's always religion or I'm a maggot extremist or something. I'm just like, dude, you have no idea who I am.
I got added to a Twitter list and it was like the maggots ruining the country or something. And I was like, I've never once uttered like MAGA and like, that's just not my jam. It's not my vibe. Like, what are you talking about? I just think it's really funny, man. It's like, bro,
Look, hold on. After the Katy, Texas incident, Antifa thought that I was Abel Garcia. They posted me on their website and called me Abel Garcia, and I'm just like, missed the mark on all of that.
By quite a bit. It wasn't the description. There wasn't the description of it like really weird too.
Yeah, I was a right wing or a detransitioning right wing conspiracy theorist or something like that, and I'm just like, what?
I like how you know what's funny is like the whole conspiracy. You're a conspiracy theorist, like yeah. There's a lot of conspiracy theories that are like fun to talk about and think about and stuff. It's not fun when they come true. That's not fun. like that's the difference for me is we recently watched the movie Conspiracy Theory, and I'd never seen it before. And it was a really good movie, but I was like, see, I miss these people. I miss the people who were just legit kind of crazy and talking about conspiracy theories and connecting all these dots. And I miss that it didn't come true.
Well, there's a lot that has come true about a lot of things. So when you call me a conspiracy theorist, it's more like, well, thank you, because I'm over the mark then. So
yeah, for real. It's just a funny thing. Like it's turned into an insult the same way like a lot of things have they try to turn them into insults. And I'm just like, bro, that doesn't really work. I don't see it as the negative thing that you see it as, I guess, or I don't know, it's like
right.
Insults only work if you're actually offended by them, I guess.
like all these instant phobias people use now, it doesn't do any more damage anymore. Nobody cares because you've used them so much. It's just like, well, it's pretty much you're giving a lot of credence to people at that point in time, because that's the only thing you've got left. Once somebody says, "Oh, you're a racist" or "You're a transphobia" or whatever, like you've won the conversation.
Yeah. It's not conspiracy theories anymore. It's spoiler alerts.
Pretty much, yes.
Truth, bro. Truth. No, yeah. I don't know. The whole okay. So what frustrates me the most is like when everybody's hurling insults, and it happens on both sides, and it's actually like really starting to irritate me that like the right wing wants to complain about how the left is constantly saying how horrible and hateful and blah, blah, you know what I mean? But like you're playing into their hand when you stoop down to their level, which we've had this argument, but I've just been thinking about it a lot more because it's frustrating because now it's like, I don't know, people are trying to pull back so far that like, instead of making their own side more appealing or their views resonate with anyone, it's just like, I'm just gonna, I can't think of another term. I'm just going to shit on you, and put you in, and put you in your place, so to speak. That kind of weird thing. I don't know. It's just something that irritates me. Like, don't stoop to somebody else's level. So I don't know. That's my 2 cents.
I will counter argue. There is a valid tactic to it because it does work.
Though.
It has worked when I do it, and it works a lot more often than you think.
No, it
really
doesn't.
Does.
That's never. Listen. When you're in a place where you're like reacting purely from emotions, you're never going like all that somebody else like throwing insults right back at you. All that does is provoke you even more. And it makes you more emotionally heightened, and you want to then dig your heels in even deeper. Now, you might later on, maybe something sticks with you and you think about it. But generally speaking, like that's not the way to like actually get anyone to change their mind. It's just a way for your own team to like give you all the props and the kudos and stuff like that. And it happens like too, like because now it's like getting to the point where everybody's getting so tribalistic. Is that even if you're on the right and you have some nuance in your views, or you're on the left and you're not completely batshit insane, people will still like go after you in your own groups. Like on the left, if anyone kind of speaks against the progressive ideology, then they get attacked by their own group. In the right, if you, I don't know, espouse like there's some pro-choice people who are right-leaning, right? And they have their own reasons and they're more reasonable people about it. Like I could have a conversation with them about it, but they get mobbed by the right the same exact way. And I just
Yeah.
think it's really unproductive. You know, it's just getting into really tribalistic, like no one's allowed to have nuance, no one's allowed to like have different types of views. And like I go to toe to toe with conservatives all the time about religion. Like I'm just respectful about it. You know, I think that's the big difference. But anyway.
Well, see, I say it is a valid tactic and it does work because latest example, what it was 2 days ago, I was on Reddit and I left a little. You remember what I sent you about the ending, the jury notes of the Proud Boys trial? You remember that?
Yeah.
All right, so I left it on a subreddit. And I was just like, I'm 50 plus informants have been found to be involved in January 6th in this case here. I'm just gonna go ahead and leave that for you guys. And then they started arguing with me, and I posted the link and everything like that, just for all of that. And they're just like, well, no, this didn't happen. And I was like, okay, 16 to 24 minute mark. Listen to it. And they did. A few of them did, and they're just like, oh, I didn't know that. And I was like, yeah. Of course, I was insulting them the entire time. Had I not been insulting these kinds of people who were insulting me at that point, they never would have looked. Because they don't have that reason to come back and keep arguing. So once they did listen to that, they were like, oh crap. So yeah.
I don't know, because I just don't think it's a way to actually get anyone to come around to your viewpoint and change their mind or anything, or like be willing to listen. Because like typically, at least at this point, like when
Willing to listen in a conversation like this, no. But they're not going to have a conversation like this.
Well, because like, so what's really interesting is that like the other day I made a TikTok responding to a comment, because I went back and forth with this dude for a little bit. And I was we were talking about like the kids transitioning, kids medically transitioning. And he was basically trying to say like, well, nobody's transitioning kids, or like, blah, 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 like all the talking points, like, well, that's not happening. And so I made this TikTok. I think it's on my shorts too. And I basically just provided a bunch of proof. And you know how many people that guy never responded, by the way. I don't even think he went and watched that video. Like he just kept arguing in the comment section of a different video. And I was just like, bro, can you just go look? And I had told him, like, can you please like look into this? And he's just like, no, I've had enough propaganda. I've had enough of your propaganda. And I'm like, BBC is not propaganda. Go look at this article from BBC where it clearly states that like these European countries have stopped this procedure because they don't know the potential long-term risks. Like this is not propaganda, my friend, but you're listening to your propaganda, which is, trapping you in an echo chamber. So you won't even go and look outside because you might have to reanalyze your views. Oh my gosh. Like that just gets to me, man. Like, and I get it, because I was there at one time, but at least I had the mental acuity to just be like, maybe I'm wrong. Like maybe I'm not getting the whole picture here. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I do. I will say though, there is a big difference in the way, like I've said before, a big difference in the way men and women have to fight though. Okay. It is, if we fight the way I kind of do, it's expected. We're just being an a-hole about it. But if women did it, nobody's going to want to listen to you, because it's a,
I mean, I don't know.
It's a gender thing.
I'm not even sure. Like there's a lot of more like abrasive women, I would say, on TikTok who get pretty big platforms, but they might be like mostly followed by other women, who knows. But I think
Right.
like just even that, just like the whole men versus women thing, like I don't know. I think some men you're probably right in the sense that like a lot of men probably just are like, just another loud, obnoxious, I don't know, but because there's guys where I kind of get that too. Like, you're just being loud and obnoxious, and I don't like it. Like, shush.
I don't even want to listen to Anna Kasparian because she does that.
I mean, I don't want to listen. You know what's really frustrating though is like Anna Kasparian has the ability to sit and have an actual conversation, because that debate with Ben Shapiro was actually really good. And I was like, see, like, I wish you were just like this all the time.
Yes.
But outrage gets clicks. So
Well, then again, you also got to look at Candace Owens on the Timcast IRL episode where she was just trying to rip into Steven Crowder. I mean, some of the things she was saying was actually valid, but she just came off like a crazy, unhinged, ranting lunatic.
Yeah, and like
When women do it,
I've
it looks bad.
I mean, I've actually stopped watching Candace Owens quite a bit, like regularly. You know, like if something pops up, I'll watch it. But because she's started really doing that a lot, and it's not my vibe. Like I liked when she was going around and she was having like talks and kind of like more lecture scenarios and panels and stuff like that, where she's like debating things, and I think she would make really good points. And she was like aggressive in the sense where she needed to be, but it wasn't overly so. But now I feel like on her show, it's just really like ranty and ravey all the time. And it's very preachy. And I'm just like, ugh, like it's just not my vibe, I guess.
He is right on this.
Calling somebody a conspiracy theorist started with the CIA when people didn't believe that Oswald shot JFK. Interesting.
Yeah, he is right. And by the way, the CIA did admit to killing JFK.
Yeah.
That was released.
No.
But yeah.
Wild. I need to go down that rabbit hole a bit more. I haven't explored it fully. And
it's a weird one. It's like everything that everybody like, oh, if you actually go down and listen to the conspiracy theory about it, they play out almost down to the second how everything happened. And from the CIA files, it's like, yeah, pretty much they were right. Sorry about that. And then we just gloss over that like that's aliens. Hey, aliens. Yeah, oh my God.
Yeah.
But all right.
I feel like the but aliens thing was such a wild thing that I didn't have on my bingo card for this year. Like, why has there been so many aliens? Like, what? It's just the ultimate distraction. Like, and people who've been, I don't know, mapping out courses of like alien, UFO sightings and stuff like that. I'm just like, I'm vindicated. Yes, we're finally talking about it. I got so excited about it.
All right, everybody, make sure you go over to, the Off Label podcast right there. That is the YouTube one. I'm going to throw up the Rumble link as well for you guys. We're going to go ahead and cut off for the Ashley's channel and my channel here to continue to cover this. So go ahead, jump over there real quick, over there on the Off Label YouTube or Rumble, whichever one you want to do. It's fine. But before you go, make sure you leave a like on the videos that you're at, ladies and gentlemen. Help us get through a little bit more. But yeah. Let's go see some chats here while we let them go over.
Also, thank you guys all for joining in. It's been really fun, really cool. Make sure to follow us over to Off Label, and we just tend to start over here so people like know that we're up and running and all that fun stuff. So make sure to go subscribe so that you can stay up with us.
That and I don't want to say something really, really messed up to hurt Ashley's channel. I'd feel like a big yeah. So yeah.
Ashley, who's your favorite conservative pundit? I mean, it depends on what you're talking about, pundit. I don't really watch many like news like anchors or anything like that. I would say that probably some of my favorite people to kind of go and listen to what's going on, listen to their takes is Amala Ekpanobi from Unapologetic, Tim Pool. I do enjoy watching Matt Walsh, but he's very abrasive. And I don't know, probably the quartering. I tend to go over there just to be like, what's going on today? What's happening? And he gives a lot of news content, even if it's just real brief and, kind of skim the surface of stuff. It's just fun to listen to. So yeah, but that's not, I mean, he's not really a conservative pundit either, but yeah, those are just the people I tend to watch the most. But I like people with more nuanced views and people who I don't agree with on every single thing.
All right, I'm going to cut your feed while we do this here. Go ahead and look for another one to answer there. And if y'all want to hear what she's got to say, jump on over the off-label channel. But
Very sly.
right.
Mhm.
But I'm going to go ahead and cut this one. Go ahead and jump on over. You guys got that link. As a matter of fact, might as well do it one more time for y'all. So y'all have that there.
Interesting. I think men tend not to hear, take in all that a woman is saying. Women tend not to say exactly what they are saying, nuanced and many connected thoughts intertwined. That's actually...
Oh, we cutting it right here. Y'all go over so you can hear what her response is.
Yeah, that's actually interesting, and it does make sense. I think the problem, and so this is the problem if you are a direct woman, like, and you speak directly, is that sometimes it can come across as abrasive, or it can come across as combative almost, because just women just tend to be more agreeable, right? So like it even happens with me with other women. If I kind of meet another woman and she's just very, very direct and forward in what she is saying, I'm like, it's just a bit intimidating almost, right? So, and I think that just comes from just women largely being more agreeable. And I think I'm also really long-winded, but my husband is too. So like we both just talk forever at each other. So yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting observation though. I think there's definitely some truth in that. And I will say that tends to be how my thoughts are anyway. Very interconnected. There's a lot of stuff kind of all going on at the same time. Can be hard to articulate.
Well, okay. So my wife over here on Rumble says my mic keeps going in and out. I've been battling this for StreamYard for so long, like editing mic settings and everything, and nothing seems to be working. So I don't know what to do anymore. Is it still okay to you?
It is when you're like talking into it directly. I think it's when your face moves a little bit even.
Oh, so I'm going to have to be doing this the entire time. Like,
yeah,
this is going to get weird. I don't know. I'll mess around with it a little more, try to find out exactly what's causing that. But...
All right.
So, let's get into this a little bit here.
Tim Pool's Christmas. I like Tim Pool. Okay, calm down about it.